Hello, so kahapon may nakausap ako na Christian, sabi niya historical daw yung resurrection of Jesus Christ kasi marami daw naka-witness. Nung tinanong ko saan nakasulat na maraming naka-witness, ang sabi niya is the Gospels. Um, so yeah, problematic ang ganon kasi tanggap niya kapag Gospels ang source, pero nung nag-cite ako ng Iliad and Odyssey, ng mga events na sinabi sa Iliad and Odyssey, sabi niya hindi daw pwede yon kasi mythology naman daw yung mga yon. So, gagamitan natin ngayon ng propositional logic yung the way they think. So, ganito. Tanggap nila ang ganitong statement. If the Gospels mention that people witnessed the resurrection of Jesus, then the resurrection of Jesus is historical. The Gospels mention that people witnessed the resurrection of Jesus, therefore, the resurrection of Jesus is historical. So ngayon, gagawin natin, again, let's separate the terms into their own variables. The Gospels and event ay the resurrection of Jesus. So we can replace this with book, event, ito, event, book. So, if book mentions that people witnessed event, then event is historical. Book mentions that people witnessed event, therefore event is historical. Tanggap nila pag ganito yung values ng variables natin. However, kapag pinalitan natin yung values ng variables, Iliad and Odyssey, di ko alam kung ganyan spelling, Trojan War. Ito, tanggap nila, pero ito, hindi nila tanggap. So, bale, yung logic nila, tanggap lang nila kapag yung favorite book nila ang value. Pero kapag ibang book ang value, hindi nila tanggap. So, if Iliad and Odyssey mentions that people witnessed the Trojan War, then Trojan War is historical. Iliad and Odyssey mentions that people witnessed the Trojan War, therefore Trojan War is historical. Para sa kanila, sasabihin nila, ay mali na yan. Pero hindi ko naman binago yung logic. Ang binago ko lang yung terms. Yung value ng variables dito. 'Di ba? So doon sila nagiging double standard. Yung standard nila for kapag ganito ang values, iba sa standard nila kapag ito naman ang values.
Actually, problematic itong ginawa niya. Problematic dahil ito ay galing sa false equivalence or yung fallacy of false equivalence. So, ano nga ba ang fallacy of false equivalence? Okay, so a false equivalence fallacy, also known as a false equivalence or false analogy, occurs when two or more things are compared or equated in a way that suggests they are similar or equivalent, when in fact, they are not. Simply because the Bible is a historical account. Iliad and Odyssey is a mythology. So doon pa lamang sa nature ng dalawang book na ito, hindi talaga sila equivalent. So this type of fallacy is characterized by a misleading or inaccurate comparison that distorts the truth and can lead to incorrect conclusions or judgments. Ready na kayo? Try naman natin sa iba. Okay, so if we follow his logic, ganun pa din. Pinalitan lang natin ito. Dati ito ay Iliad and Odyssey. Ngayon naman ay naging Rizal and Saga. Then event natin ay Death of Rizal. So let's see if this applies. Let's say someone believes in the historical document that meron talagang record about the death of Rizal. Ito talaga ay historical. So by his logic, tingnan natin. If Rizal and Saga mentions that people witnessed the death of Rizal, then the death of Rizal is historical. Rizal and Saga mentions that people witnessed death of Rizal, therefore death of Rizal is historical. So, ang question dito is, Kim, tatanggapin mo ba ang death of Rizal as a historical fact? At tatanggapin mo rin ba ang Iliad and Odyssey as historical? At kung tatanggapin mo lang dito ang death of Rizal as historical at hindi mo tatanggapin ang Iliad and Odyssey, then you are guilty of the same thing na ina-accuse mo ang nakausap mo na Christian as double standard. Alright, so sa pamamagitan nun, nakita natin na na-demonstrate natin na ang kanyang argument, it doesn't work. And it is based on a fallacy of false equivalence. And I am sure na sobrang aware siya dito. Dahil sa book mismo na binabasa niya, logic is defined as the analysis and appraisal of arguments. So, if we take this definition at face value, it is not the analysis and appraisal of truthfulness. Ulitin ko po If by definition, logic is the analysis and appraisal of arguments, rationality, consistency, then therefore, hindi ito ang tool na ginagamit natin, okay? Hindi ito ang tool na ginagamit natin as analysis and appraisal of truthfulness. So madaling salita, logic isn't a test of truthfulness, but of rationality and consistency. Now, don't get me wrong, truth is very important sa subject ng logic. In fact, kapag meron kang truth claim, anyone can have a truth claim. At sa pamamagitan ng logic, tinetest natin yung kanyang truth claim kung ito ba ay logically consistent. Actually, kahit nga ano na lang yung ilagay mo dyan, if book, mag-imbento ka ng kung anong ilagay mo dyan at saka yung event, you will still have logical conclusions. The problem is, nonsense yun. So, ang pinaka-main issue niya dito is yung pag-compare niya talaga ng books. Bible, Iliad and Odyssey, which is totally not equivalent in nature with each other. Alright, so I guess it's a good try, but it wasn't successful. Maybe you should try again next time.